Hi everyone, Nancy87 here of Open World PC Gaming, the Open World blog, and we're here at EGX 2016 talking to the guys behind the Black Death Small Impact games. Here I'm joined with James and Cameron, and we're going to talk a bit about the game, what it's about, and generally have a little playthrough and see how things turn out. So guys, it's a survival MMO, yeah? Set in the medieval era with the plague in play. Now does the plague take a real centre focus for the game? Is that what drives every player to try to survive from? Or is it more to do with it's just there in the background?
So I feel like actual The Black Death in real life was like the greatest survival game of all time because it was horrific. Like it wiped out a lot of people. I mean, obviously we've taken some artistic license, so we've made it a little bit less aggressive than it actually was, because it wouldn't be that much fun if you just like spawn in and then die from nothing other than a rat touching you. So yeah, sure, it's in the game. It's around the whole world's built around it. We're always trying to remind the player that there's dead bodies there, there's flies there. That you're starting to get try and give it a sense of smell. Like, oh god, this world is deprived and rotten food, and which just I feel from a survival genre aspect, it just locks in perfectly. Survival. You're surviving a disease. So, yeah, that's how I feel with the gameplay aspect. It works perfectly.
Just like real life. If you don't look after yourself, you're going to get sick.
So do you feel that bringing upon something that really happened in history is something that sets your game apart from the other survival MMOs that are out there at the moment?
Well, so we've got a few things. We wanted to be, a lot of survival games are American. We've gone British, so we're kind of Western European, Germany, France, England, and I think hopefully you can see that from the weather and stuff in the game. Got a very miserable, dreary kind of thing to go with the gritty, realistic world. And yeah,
our RPGs stuff. Yeah. So obviously we got professions or classes in the game. Yeah. And we wanted to look for the gap in the survival genre and have some nice progression. Yeah. So an everyday hero feel. So you're a peasant. Yeah. And you can progress to a master farmer, which all loops back into survival core mechanics. And you're providing food because people get hungry. When you're a blacksmith, you're providing weapons so people defend themselves. And it all locks back into the history. All these professions are based on 14th century times.
Yeah, so talk a bit about the progression. How quickly can you get from being, say, a peasant through a blacksmith to a knight, etc.? How quickly does that take place?
So, I mean, we have different base classes that you can play as professions. So you have the militia, and when you unlock him through the skill tree, you can play as the blacksmith, and then from the blacksmith you can go to the knight. And the knight is kind of like one of the highest and hardest to get to, but each class has its own unique way to play, so it's not necessarily better, it's just maybe more specialized to how you like to play, because that's what we're quite keen on. Different people play survival games in a different way. Personally, I love my Minecraft kind of clearing, gathering, so I always play peasant. Cameron's a bit more of a hunter, so he plays either hunter class or militia or knight, stuff like that. One of our other guys in our team loves setting up a shop in every kind of game, even if there isn't the mechanics for it. So, for example, he'll, Rust, he got a log, he just put his items on there and he'd be like, come see my shop. And that kind of leads on to, we wanted to add gentle mechanics to push people into role-playing, because people tend to role-play in survival games anyway. So we really thought, how can we do this in a nice way? So the profession system, the kind of RPG mechanics that tied to that, really help push people into these kind of gentle role-playing, and people have taken to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of progressing through the game, the experience points is gathered from everything. Yeah. Right. So if you're really focused, I'm a peasant and I want to level up real quick into a hunter, and you're a gatherer, sure, you can do that quite effectively if you're staying out of danger. But if you die and you don't spend skill points, you lose experience. Yeah. So it's all about trying to you build up your experience points and then play a little bit safe, unlock some skills, make your progression, and make your way there. So the play times can vary in terms of unlocking new professions massively. So if you got on this 5th skill point and then you die and you didn't spend it, it's gone. So they add that little bit of intensity, to have a little bit of forgiveness in there as well.
Yeah. So I mean, the permadeath is a thing, but like Aaron's saying, if you spend your skill points, then you keep that forever. Your house is persistent, but items, loot, and unspent skill points are gone. So yeah, there is that tension still, even though we're creating a sort of more user, more friendly death system.
Right. Yeah. So you can have your own house in the game. Yeah. Is there any sort of base building around that house, or is it you've got a deed and then you go and buy the house, and can other people break into your house, say, and take your things, etc.?
So we had door breaking in initially, and it was anarchy. So we kind of had to make doors have unlimited health, and then it started people getting a bit happier about that. In terms of the houses, you buy it, and now they're previously filled up but now they're going to be empty. So you build the beds, you'll build the decor, you can do it up. But primarily the houses are there, and you can shop around and see what sort of mortgage fits you best, and then put your gold down, and then that's your home base, and that's where you store your stuff safely as well when you die. So there's no house building per se, but we spend a lot of time building all the houses customly, so you have something nice to buy, or even a progression in that as well. You know, you start off with a small hut, and then eventually you afford sort of like a mansion type of thing. So even the houses still have progression, even though you can't build them from scratch.
Right. Yeah. So you can. Yeah. So, how many regions are there in the game that you can go and visit and then decide to live in? Is there more built-up areas, and maybe some areas aren't affected by the plague as others?
Yeah, so to kind of support professions that aren't so combat focused, like the merchant and the peasant, we've made areas where there are guards. So Capital City is our main city. It has guards, so if you pull a weapon out, you're going to get attacked, just to kind of stop that kill on sight in some areas. Obviously, it's important to have because it's quite a nice way of building tension and like having a good time in a game. So it's kind of like we have safe spots. And then if you leave those, you're kind of at risk. So, you know, you're going to meet bandits, you're going to meet wild animals that's going to attack you, other players, of course, who are going to kind of like try and take your stuff probably. You know, you're on it, they might help you, they might not. Yeah.
In terms of regions, like, they vary in safety. You're looking at over about 18 areas, main areas. In terms of big cities, you're looking at about 5. And one capital, say, like big one. So there's a lot, and we're trying to vary the biomes as much as possible. You know, you have your snowy area, you have your kind of swampy, like, the Black Death's definitely there type of area, and then you have your built-up city feels.
Okay, cool. So you are just a small dev team. You say there's 7 of you?
7 of us, yeah.
So for all the the digital art and stuff, is that all done in-house, or do you contract people in to do that, or is that everything's done in-house between the 7 of you?
So we've put on a lot of pipelines to try and generate as much content quickly as possible. That's usually just playing it smart at the beginning, bringing in content that can be repurposed fast. And so primarily that's done in-house, the repurposing and getting as much out of one item as possible. Such like our item system, for instance, like, you know, my brother, the coder, would create a really simple way of creating new items, and we literally just put in icon pictures, you know, like that's an orange, that's an apple, gives you this much food. So that's the sort of systems that we try to get as much out of as possible, rather than spending 3 months building different windows. You know, we're trying to repurpose as much as possible, but at the same time, try to not have too many repetitive assets.
I mean, so animation is one of my main things as well. So with that, I motion capture the stuff myself. I have 2 Kinects, and we use some software, iPi, just to generate stuff really quickly. And then, you know, we could do everything the long way, but it's not the best way. You know, we do it the way that's going to get the best results the quickest, because we are 7 people.
Sacrifices are made, but we try our best.
And not sleeping. That's the other thing.
Not sleeping. That's probably not the best thing to do when you're trying to make a game, but there you go. So how has Steam Early Access been to you guys? Because you've been on there, as you say, since April. So it's quite a while. Have you seen a good response, bad response, mixed response? And how generally do you find the platform? Do you find it a good way to push your game forward and get more resources in?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's the only way. We're a tiny team. It's great for testing things, for seeing what people really like and dislike, and like the biggest thing for us is we've been able to really change direction. If we see somebody hasn't liked something, or, you know, generally the people don't like it, then we change it. And the, you know, big core changes, like we changed our combat system because we had a way that was very complex, but people just didn't like it and they didn't get it. You know, on paper it sounds really cool. Some things just don't work. So for us, in terms of development, it's like a fantastic platform for that kind of thing.
So it's a really good test bed. Like, I mean, it's horrible to treat like that way because obviously consumers are buying the product. And we also got some unhappy customers. They're going in thinking like, I want this to work perfectly for me. And in areas it's falling because we're ripping the systems apart constantly. But for me, I feel Early Access has been, we had to do it. And we had some server issues that we didn't know because of the amount of players that had joined the game. And we suffered in the reviews at that point, but we've been clawing it back, getting server stability. It was our core concentration. We're concentrating on that all the time. And people are having really long playthroughs now with like least amount of crashes, like up to 5 hours. So that's great. And initially it was about 2 minutes. We just patched like mad on the first day, and people thought we were going to run away to Hawaii, but like we just went mad at the patch. We're not going anywhere.
At the end of the day, the game has got so much better because of being in Early Access. Exactly. It's a far better thing than it was when we first came out.
It pushed us loads, like having people just scream at us, going, "What the hell's going on?" So that's how I feel about it.
Good. So we're gonna jump in game now and take a look at the Black Death, ask you a couple more questions as we're playing through, and see you in game.
I think we might try Peasant. Like,
Peasant, right?
He's not the hardest class to play as. Obviously, Beggar is way more hardcore.
Yeah.
Like the Deprived class in Dark Souls, like no clothes and all that kind of stuff. But
Awesome.
But the Peasant's a great way to simulate the game properly. I think. Like it's 14th century. You know, it's like you're the main provider of food in the game. And we like to think that we've done a nice balance of professions. It stops a lot of killing on site behaviour.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a melee game, so you're not going to get sniped from 1,000 meters in the head.
Right. Yeah.
But
so no crossbows, no bows.
There is crossbows and bows, yeah. But you see, even there's a bit. Right. Yeah, exactly. So but even with that, even weapons and it's being a dangerous game, we do see that professions do work with each other a lot more in our kind of way we've done it. Because like a militia is going to come up to you, and he's always going to think twice about killing you because you're a provider of food, and he is starving. And he's the worst cook in the world. You know, you're Gordon Ramsay. You know, you're like, well, you want some jam? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm starving. Like, well, you're going to have to help me out a little bit. Protect my farm, that kind of stuff. And that's the role-playing stuff coming through.
Yeah. So as that character, you can actually help out other characters in the game by being their provider and their... All right, okay.
Yeah, exactly,
That's cool.
I mean, the merchant's great at crafting. So, I mean, he can always provide better, more exotic items than the peasant can. But he's not a gatherer. He's weak. He can't carry a lot. You know, the peasant's like a miner, farmer. He's like, iron ore comes at a price. The peasant has to go into danger and grab it. The merchant can turn that into metals and that kind of stuff. Blacksmith make it into a sword.
So what would you advise is the first thing you do when you get in game? Like no matter what the class, say if you are obviously as a peasant, what would you do first? I would
always work towards that first house.
Right. Okay.
Like home base. Yeah. Like you need that. You need like look, have a little scout around, that's worth a bit of money. Oh, that's got a farm attached to it. Oh, I can lock that gate. Like my farm is going to be. Right. So that's and start working a bit of money up.
Set up a base somewhere safe to. All right.
Yeah, get the economy going. Obviously, we've got economy in the game. Yeah. Start trading with NPCs and other players, get some money together. Flour like that is a good wheat and pelts. Yeah. Like that's the nitty-gritty of items in the game. Like that's the stuff that everyone wants.
So James, what are you doing now? What exactly are you?
So I just dropped an orange for another player on the server. They seem to be ignoring it though. But yeah, basically I'm just trying to get some food and some water because I feel like we're going to go for a little journey somewhere. Maybe we need to find some farmland.
Cool. So that merchant seems to be a little bit arrogant. Arrogant merchant.
So
he's always paid attention.
That's
another player. Yeah. He's just walking around. Okay. He doesn't like what we have to offer, but.
He seems more admiring the scenery than anything else.
Let's have a look around. So this is Freemansport. This is quite one of the larger cities. It's by the sea, obviously. He's a peasant, so you can actually specialize in being a fisherman.
Right.
So this is a great place if you want to set up.
This is a good starting point, really.
Yeah, if you want to take that thing. So this is an NPC merchant. So that was a player. That was a player merchant. This is an NPC one. I like to think all the NPCs kind of echo the players' professions.
Right. Yeah.
Just in case, if you have a bit of a dead zone in terms of player count. We always want to make sure you have something to
go to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you also match yourself against these NPCs and be like, well, I'm actually this tier because I've got more stuff than this guy's got. I've got more valuable stuff than this guy. And that.
Definitely. We never wanted to make sure that the player was out of the loop.
Right.
The quality provided by the NPCs is only like a baseline, like survival type of stuff.
Right.
But you can always provide that. That we have item quality. So he makes a nasty bread roll. You make a legendary bread roll. That's the kind of. And you go around the map and you'll get better quality items.
Yeah. Any sweet rolls in there?
Oh, there's we got some desserts. Some desserts sourced from history. We got your porridge. Nice. That kind of stuff.
Scottish oats.
Yeah, exactly. We're drinking from a well here.
Awful water.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So obviously.
Put that back. You don't want that.
the Black Death is in the game, so when you start abusing yourself with terrible quality items, you'll get the infection way faster.
So is there, say for example, you just picked up water there, is you more likely to pick up the Black Death at a higher concentration from water or from food, or is there...
it really depends on if you start drinking dirty water constantly, you're on a fast track.
Right, okay.
But if the water's just a little bit off from where you'll be okay, the chances are likely you're okay. Food-wise, like this raw food here, the hunger, straight away nausea, you're going to start throwing up. Because it was rotten food, you get a bit of hunger from it, but the cost is negated from the infection.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you do to negate the effects of the plague then? What can you go and do?
Yeah, learn. I feel like...
Because at some point you're going to have rotten food, aren't you? If you're struggling with food, you're going to have to eat it. So.
Monk's the best profession for trying to prevent stuff
so
from the plague.
Players in the game you can go to and say, look,
here's a remedy. Right. But that's usually a preventive thing. If you already got it, they're going to start keeping away from you. You're going to start getting the boils and stuff hey mate, you're not worth it.
Can you pick up the plague from other players?
Oh, yes, you can.
Right.
So if you can visually look like a mess, and you can spread it around, and you can throw up.
So it's literally survival of the fittest. If one of your, say, your squad or whatever that you're going around with starts picking up the plague, you can axe them off, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's something we're constantly balancing, because in day one we had loads of guys sneezing through people's windows while they're sleeping, and they're getting the infection so fast.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Right, so we're going to house now.
Okay. So that's worth $3,000.
Right.
It's expensive. It's near some guards, so like the price is a little bit up.
Right, so a bit more protection.
Yeah. It's got some utilities outside, like your campfire. You can build these now. This is a new update we're coming out. You can build these utilities.
Yeah.
But you got some awful raw fish. If you prepare that and craft it, because it's awful, your chance of success is only 36%.
Right. Okay.
So that's and the quality of them coming back out is going to be quite crap as well.
So how quickly can you build up to like getting just normal raw fish or good raw fish or?
So basically, you're going to start have to work for it.
Right.
Like you're going to have to build a fishing rod. You have to go to freshwater sources.
Is it to do more of the tools that you make rather
than
exactly. Like you've made 20 awful raw fish, you're going to improve then, or is it more you need the tools and then you go?
Yeah.
We also have a risk reward system.
Right.
Yeah, so we also have a risk system here. So if you push this up, the quality coming out is going to be better, but you feel the crafting success. It's like you're going to fail. Like 5%, like might be the best fish ever. We never know. But if you fail crafting like he has, you lose your ingredients.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, if you get that tool and you go to fish rod source, you got a fishing rod. Your chances of getting better stuff out is way higher.
You get fresh fish as well, can't you? Yeah.
And you have to go to deeper, dangerous areas of the map as well for the better items, obviously, to move the player around.
So it's a massive balance between do I survive now or do I survive tomorrow, sort of thing.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. You can loot all the crates you want, but you're going to get a lot of rotten meat, a lot of terrible items. And you start thinking about the long game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we've seen guards like at that house in there. There's a couple of guards about. There's some bandit coming now.
That's a bandit running right, yeah.
Right. So how does the crime system work?
Okay, so if you like attack a player who doesn't have his weapon out and you kill him, you automatically get 100 gold bounty on your head.
Right.
And the knight, like anyone can take part in the bounty system.
That's global. That's not just specific to that area. That's global.
That's like you're a player. Yeah, you as a player are worth 100 gold.
Right.
And when your head is decapitated and your loot bag, your head's worth 100 gold. Right. So you become a walking piece of money. And then the knight profession is the only guy who can actually scan you, like, I'll see your papers and see how much bounty you're worth. So you have a little bit of a natural policing happening. Right. But we wanted to make sure players can role play. Like, if you want to be a bounty guy, if you want to go around getting bounty, that's up to you. You want to be an outlaw, that's completely up to you. So you can steal items and all sorts of stuff like that.
So is the option in the future maybe to have sort of like a judge type system, or maybe like you have to go to the town, you're going to be hanged sort of thing, and having the public displays of...
Yeah, so we're always constantly thinking of ways of getting rid of the bounty without having to die. Right. And yeah, one of those is maybe some sort of judge system. Like we have something that we're thinking about in the works, and you know, like it'll be great if you just go to stocks and then you have to just stay in the stocks for a bit and then the bounty ticks down.
Right.
You know, stuff like that would be great systems to think of. But currently we don't have that. You're just going to have to die or live with it. Like survival games.
So James has just had to run away from that guy then, there's no... Right, so you're going to look for protection of the guards.
Yeah.
So is that literally all you can do at this point, is just run?
So we didn't have a weapon.
Right.
We don't have a weapon yet, so we can now craft one.
Sorry, my bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't have a weapon, we're peasants, so
right.
Like,
so you
we're going to make one
a
now.
stick club.
Yeah.
So you want to show off a bit of combat for us?
Yeah, let's try. Let's defend ourselves. That bandit is near a farm as well, so we can hopefully kill that bandit and plant some seeds and make our way as a peasantry life.
Right.
If we had a militia buddy, this might go a little bit easier. We can offer him a bit of bread at the end of it.
It does really enforce people to, I'm going to sort of say, squad up, team up, and go around with each different class and like become a class for it, help each other out. Yeah. There's a wolf there as well.
That wolf had just eaten something as well. Someone like, I don't know about
this is a good opportunity for loot, surely, as well, if you can take a wolf out.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not the best combat class, the peasant. Well, strafe, James. That wolf is getting at your ankles.
Oh, man. Over the back of the head. Go on.
Oh, go on, mate. Oh, yes. New skill point. Get the hell out of there. Let's not mess with wolves. That wolf can just eat that bandit.
We should point out at this point that James is a trained professional in the Black Death, and not everyone can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
you're injured now. So what have you got here? You've got severe dehydration, starving, and near death.
Yeah. So he's been running around a lot. So he's thirsty. He's throwing up because he ate that rotten food.
Oh yeah.
He's starving because he's been engaging in activities without feeding, and he's near death because he took a massive hit. So he's kind of stealthed away from that wolf there. So that's good. I might head back to that loot bag, see what that bandit had. Now the wolf is gone. Yeah, we have full loot systems, so if you kill NPCs, you get random items and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's random, right? Okay, cool.
I make some bandages right now. We're bleeding hard. Might have to drink that water. Yeah.
So you can make bandages from bits of cloth and stuff and things like that. And everything.
Cotton bushes around the world, and they have the item quality as well. So the better the cotton swab, the better the healing properties, all that kind of stuff. We have Monk has a doctor's skill tree, so you can make really good medicinal items and all that kind of stuff.
So how much inspiration have you taken from other open world games that are currently available? Because I mean, it's a large market at the moment, open world survival games, especially with the start of like DayZ back a couple of years ago. It's really blossomed and it's really full of a lot of games. So how much inspiration? How separate do you think your game is compared to those?
I feel like we focused on bringing a single player. Oh, the wolf killer. I feel like we focused on a single player aspect of the game and bringing it to multiplayer instead of making it solely multiplayer. Like we looked at Skyrim going, oh man, economy system, oh, buying a house, that's so cool. NPCs, like guards you can talk to, conversation trees. We thought, that's not really been in a survival multiplayer setting, really.
No.
So like, let's bring it in. Like, we want economy, we want item quality, so RPG, like, we want all those things that just like...
So you tried to make it more traditional RPG in an open world setting.
Yeah. Survival mechanics just help us move stuff along. I wouldn't say it's necessarily at the core. Like we try to think like, oh man, it'd be nice to just have a medieval RPG game that's almost co-op, but isn't. Like you can turn around to your friend, like, you know what, game over, and then just do what you want.
So going on to the RPG sort of stuff, like you've got that development, you've got building your class. What sort of story arcs are there that are available to help you go and do that? What quests?
So currently, actually, the quest system is something we've actually created, but it's not implemented. It's one of those things like something went wrong with the servers and we had to concentrate on another feature. But they will be like will be based around items. So if I wouldn't say fetch quests because I mean that sounds boring. Yeah. But it's almost like we have procedural events.
Staple though, aren't they?
But like we have procedural events. So like things randomly spawn in, and obviously hopefully you won't see that because it'll ruin the immersion. But you'll have like a random event, like there's a guy there with a broken car. He's like, I need wood for this to work, and he'll give you triple the value for wood.
But so it's almost like get in the town because he needs it desperately. Yeah.
But it's like they're not really fetch quests; they're like opportunities. Like, oh right, okay, and then you might have wood on you, but then if you go away and come back, he's probably been murdered by bandits and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say it's dynamic AI, but there's definitely like obviously guards fight bandits and there's wolves jumping around. It's not quite the same experience.
There's a lot of opportunity to take advantage of like what's going on around you.
So I think that's the kind of like how we're going to treat the quest kind of feel.
Yeah. So
changing it up so it's not, you go somewhere and it's not the same every time. It's really important.
Right. So if you could sum up the Black Death in 4 words, what would they be?
Open world.
It's a good start.
RPG. Survival, and then 14th century medieval. One word.
Okay.
And if there was a 5th one, gritty.
Gritty.
Oh, yeah. Gritty.
Nice word.
Dirty, gritty.
Awesome. All right, thanks guys for your time. It's currently in early access on Steam. Alpha. On the alpha stage. Alpha stage.
Yeah.
You've got plans to go to beta in the future?
We're going to try and wrap up for January February kind of time. Yep. And start focusing on bug polishing only, but we're still putting features in right now.
All right. Thanks guys. That's been the Black Death. Hope you enjoyed, and check it out on Steam.